Hi there, it's Z. Today I would like to show you a tutorial. Tutorial is about Yankees 69 combo hybrid, and the tutorial is about non-oxidized mesh and how to rebuild or build a coil with non-oxidized mesh on combo hybrid and G-Bell version 2. So, this in front of me is combo, Yankee 69 combo, in its main parts. So, these two parts here are the sandblasted tubes. This is 18350 tube, this is 18650 tube. This is top cap. This is the tank, which is very similar to G-Bell. Basically it is a G-Bell but with a hybrid connection, and it is bigger than G-Bell, and it's with the isolated mesh hole here, and it can take up to closely 5 milliliters of e-liquid. This is the 510 connector. It goes up on the tube, and this is the switch. So, because we're not going to do a full review, we're only going to do a tutorial. We don't need these parts. I'm going to use in the tutorial 18650 and the rest of the parts. So, to put it together, just put the switch with the brake, put the tank session on, and the top cap. So, this is the G-Bell fully assembled without the setup. So, about tutorial. Because this is basically a G-Bell, the V2, G-Bell V2 is basically the same as this tank here, but he's smaller. He can take up to 3 milliliters of liquid, and the V2 is going to have adjustable positive connection. Down there, of course, he's going to have isolated mesh hole in here. So, because the mesh hole is isolated, that is allowing you to do a non-oxidized setup with the mesh. So you're not going to oxidize mesh this time, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, first what we are going to do, because we are using the ribbon Kanthal wire, we are going to lose these connections. This is the negative post and the positive post. Just lose them a little bit. We need to do it wider because of the ribbon Kanthal, and when we are speaking about the Kanthal, just take the lighter and go through the wire just a little bit, like this. So, idea of this is to do it as simple as can, and of course when you practice a little bit, you're going to be fast. I'm doing it slowly just to show you how to do it. Okay, this was the Kanthal wire, this is the mesh. Okay, this is 200 mesh. We just resize it a little bit for the tank, it fits. And what you're going to do, you're going to roll up your mesh like every time you do when you're doing a setup. Just this time we're not going to oxidize the mesh. Okay. So basically, when you roll your mesh, halfway of your job here is done already. Just take the needle. I'm using the pink one because it is 1.2 millimeters wide, so that is basically the diameter of the hole inside the mesh or through the mesh. I don't know how to say, pipe or something like that. So when you roll your mesh, make sure it fits through the hole like this. Okay, maybe just a little bit more. Now let's make sure that the mesh fits through the hole. Maybe just left a little bit of space. It provides you a better wicking. Okay, it's not good enough. One more time. A tighter this time. Okay. Let's try it now. Okay, it fits perfectly. The reason why I'm using this needle, it's easier for, of course, and for the beginners, just to sure that it's easier with the needle. So this should look something like this. But before doing the coil, I would like to do a few more things. I would like to cut a mesh a little bit like this. I'm doing that because when I learned how to make a mesh, stainless mesh wick and a coil, somebody told me that this is the proper way, and okay, there is no proper way. You can do it whatever you like, whatever fits to you, but they told me that this is for better wicking. Of course, by the way, this is the air hole, and this is the hole for filling the tank. When you got the combo, there is a screw on this place here. I took it out because of the better wicking, and there is two screws. You're going to have two screws. One is full screw, just a screw, and the other one is the screw with a hole inside. So I'm not using the screw, I took it out because of the wicking. So I cut the mesh a little bit, I got my needle here, I lose the posts, and now I'm just putting the mesh inside, and basically it should look something like this. Now for the coil you will need a Kanthal wire. I'm using a ribbon. This is 0.5 times 0.1 millimeters. There is also 0.4 times 0.1 and 0.3 times 0.1, but I found the 0.5 is good for me. So it's much easier for me to do with the ribbon Kanthal than the normal round one. So when you're doing with ribbon Kanthal, the resistance is 0.9 ohms or 1 ohm. That is depend on how you do your coil, but that is the measurements I always get for me, because I'm doing 4 turns on the coil. So how you do it? just took the wire and make a connection on the negative post and hold it with your finger. Then with the screwdriver just screw the negative post. Screw down the negative post. Okay, it should look something like this. Then you are rebuilding your coils with 4 turns and you are ending up on the positive post. So okay, 1, 1, 2, this is the third one, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one. The fourth one I never end it like this. I always go around the post one more time, like this. Oops. Houston, we have a problem. Okay, problem solved. And I ended up like this. So hold it with your finger, take the screw and screw down. Okay, what you got? You got a coil with 4 rounds. I don't know if you're able to see, and basically that's it. So now I'm going to check if the turns are okay. The coil looks okay. Just a little bit with a screw to fix the connection here on the negative post. I need to do it again, just to make sure that everything is alright and on its place. So like this. Okay, I'm showing you this in the basically with no editing, so you see all the problems that you can find and to see the solution already. So this is the coil. With the screwdriver, just take a look and push a little bit here, push the wire between the positive and between the negative post and the mesh, just a little bit here, and do it the same thing on the positive connection up here, just a little bit. So basically this is it. This is the coil. Okay, this part now, this explanation with the needle for the beginners and for the guys that they are going to use oxidized mesh. You're building your coil basically the same as I did now. Just before building the coil, just oxidize your mesh. When you oxidize mesh, put it inside the hole, make a coil. Looks exactly the same, just the mesh is oxidized. Okay, the problems for the beginners. You're going to have probably you're going to have a hotspot. Hotspot is a place where your mesh is not oxidized properly. That is the first reason. The second reason is the wire is not touching the mesh. So that causes you problems with the burn taste. How to solve it? When you make a connection and the coil start to work, you're going to have maybe a hot spot on the positive here, or maybe on the negative post here. How to solve the problem? Just when you see the hot spot, just take the needle and push it maybe a left, right, towards you, or maybe on the opposite side, and then try again. If you have a problem again, take the needle out and just a little bit move the wire, move the coils. Be free to do that. That is not going to make any problems. And then when you make sure that there is no hot spots on your coil, just put some liquid on the mesh, start it up, see how it vapes. If there is no red wires on your coil, it's good. Then put e-liquid inside the tank. So now back to non-oxidized mesh. Now all we need to do is put the battery inside and make this coil work. Okay, when you put your battery inside, let's see now how the coil works. Push the button just slowly and shortly, like this. You saw it was a hot spot. One on the positive and on the negative side. So just pulsing it a little bit, like this. And for about 1 minute it's going to be fine. And your mesh is going to turn in black. That means that the wire finds its own way from the negative to the positive connection, and that parts where the wire is going to be oxidized. See, no more hot spots. So now the other two coils are going to be red. See, now everything is working just fine. Okay, there is a different methods of doing this non-oxidized mesh. Some people say that your battery should be half full. I don't know, I just put the battery inside, pulse it a few times, and I'm having like this. See? Okay, the coil is good. Now I'm taking the nail cutter to trim off the excess. Okay, just to check. Okay, perfect coil. And now I'm doing something that's my own way, so I'm doing it like this. Just put a little bit of liquid on the mesh. I do it for about 3 or 4 times, because when you make a coil on this way, you are not oxidizing your mesh wick. You're about to have some kind of metal chemical taste for the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 vapes. So just burn a little bit of liquid, just to make sure that you're not going to have that taste on the beginning. And basically this is the same when you're making a oxidized coil. You need to oxidize it with a liquid. So this is it. You see the flame. One more time. And basically you have non-oxidized coil done. For the resistance, I don't know exactly the resistance, but the resistance should be 0.9 or 1 ohm maybe. So this is the coil. Put the liquid inside. Fill the tank. Okay. Now, if you're seeing bubbles, everything is fine. There is bubbles, so everything is okay. This should work properly. Now, put your top cap back, and when you're putting cap back, the air hole here is 1.2 millimeters, needs to be on the mesh. So, hop, like this, and this is it. And now let's see how it works. Okay, non-oxidized mesh. Basically, you saw how it vapes. For the coil and the wick and everything, it depends on how you're able to build it. So that's the performance, the throat heat and vapor production and everything depends on that. So just do as I show you, keep it simple, and it's going to work just fine. Okay, thank you all for watching these tutorials, and great